Hello everyone, this is Karen.
Hello everybody, I am Shane.
Today we're looking at part 1 of fondant, the icing on the cake. And the vocabulary words are fancy.
Fancy.
This restaurant is too fancy. I'd rather go to a fast food restaurant.
I agree. Too fancy? Bad. Melt.
Melt.
It's so hot that my ice cream melted before I had a chance to eat it.
Oh no.
It's on the floor over there.
Get another one.
Okay.
Probably.
Probably.
We probably can't go to your birthday party this weekend.
Ah!
I'm sorry.
Dip.
Dip.
She dipped her toes into the cold water and decided it was a bad idea to go swimming.
Ooh, too cold.
Too cold.
Occasion.
Occasion.
Peter dressed up in a suit because it was a special occasion. And do you know what else you can see on a special occasion?
Fondant.
You're so smart.
I'm pretty smart, right?
Like, yeah, fondant, like sugar-based frosting on the cake.
Yeah, basically when we think of a wedding cake.
That's right.
And it's really smooth and the icing on there is very beautiful. That's because of the fondant.
That's right. Well, it could be at like a birthday party too. So that's why we say special occasions, right?
And often it's used because there's frosting on a cake, and then there's this thing we call fondant. So fondant is a bit more sticky, and you can design with it. So if you want to create little characters or something like that, it's quite good for creating something very special.
And I remember I had a niece who also had a fondant cake for her birthday. I remember it was quite expensive too.
Ah, well, probably because of the designer.
That's
has to
right.
spend a lot of time.
All the hard work.
Okay, let's learn more about fondant.
All right, enjoy.
Fondant, the icing on the cake. When it comes to cakes, looks are just as important as taste. Have you ever wondered how the fancy cakes that you see on TV are created? The secret is a sugar-based frosting that's called fondant.
Today's lesson is called Fondant, the icing on the cake, part 1. Hi everyone, my name is Jeff.
And I'm Mike. And yes, we're talking about cake, so we're talking about baking. And if we're talking about baking, we're talking about cakes.
And fondant.
And fondant. Well, one of the best things about a cake, really, is that sugary stuff on the outside. We call that icing, but fondant is just sort of a more specialized version of icing. We should point out that this is a French word, and I think it would sound more like fondant in French. But
we're
using sort of the common English pronunciation fondant. But if you say it around a French person and they giggle, well, now you know why. But either way, no matter how you say it, it's delicious, it's on cakes, and actually it's pretty amazing the things that they can do with this stuff, considering it's made of like sugar.
It is amazing, and we'll be learning all about it over the next couple of days.
And it's delicious too.
And it's delicious too. Anyways, let's get started. Everyone, when it comes to cakes, looks are just as important as taste.
Sure.
And this is true. If the cake looks terrible, you're not going to think it to be all that delicious. You're going to think, ugh, that's kind of a gross cake. It looks gross, so it'll probably taste gross. Anyways, so here's a good question. Have you ever wondered how the fancy cakes that you see on TV are created?
Or the fancy cakes that you see in a bakery, fancy birthday cakes. Yeah, it's true. How are they created? Because these are not simple cakes that you might make at home. These are cakes that show there's a lot of skill involved, and that's why they're a little expensive. Because they're fancy. This adjective fancy means kind of very attractive, very well decorated, probably a little bit expensive. When we're talking about a fancy restaurant or a fancy hotel, they would have marble floors and linen and beautiful chandeliers, beautiful light fixtures. The waiters in a fancy restaurant might wear a tuxedo or gloves or something like that. So you know, it's really special, it's high class, it's very, very well decorated, and it's probably a little bit expensive. For example, this restaurant is too fancy. I'd rather go to a fast food restaurant. Sure, if you want a hamburger and french fries, a fancy restaurant is just going to be a big waste of money.
Anyways, if the cake looks good, people are going to want to eat it, okay? If it doesn't look good, well, people are probably going to throw it in the garbage. Anyways, these good-looking cakes that you see on TV, there's a secret behind them. The secret is a sugar-based frosting that's called fondant. All right, everyone, with that, it's time for us to take a break, but don't go away. We'll be right back after this.
What flavor was the cake?
I have no idea.
Hello， 大家好，我是 Hanny。今天的课文标题是 Fondant, the icing on the cake。Fondant 就是翻糖，它是一种以糖来当做基底的糖霜。那么 icing 跟 frosting 这两个字都可以用来指糖霜、糖衣。同学们喜欢吃蛋糕甜点吗？蛋糕的外观呢，就跟味道一样重要。如果外观看起来很难吃，你就不会想吃，对不对？好，那你知道电视上那些你看到很精美的蛋糕是怎么制作出来的吗？好，他们的秘诀就在于翻糖。这边有一个单字 fancy， 它是形容精美的、别致的、高级、昂贵的。那么 Mike 老师提到一些高级餐厅或是很昂贵的旅馆，里面可能会铺大理石地板啊，可能会有漂亮的水晶吊灯啊，然后服务生搞不好会穿着正式的晚礼服等等。那这边老师用到几个单字可以学起来哦。Marble M-A-R-B-L-E 这个字当可数名词可以指弹珠，那它当不可数名词可以指大理石。还有 chandelier 它是指水晶吊灯、枝形吊灯，这个字是拼作 C-H-A-N-D-E-L-I-E-R。还有 tuxedo 它是指男生穿的晚礼服，是无尾的那一种，不是像燕尾服有长长的后摆。tuxedo 是比较短版的，那它是拼作 T-U-X-E-D-O。接着回到课文中。
Fondant, the icing on the cake. Fondant was invented in the 16th century and gets its name from the French word fondre, which means to melt. It was likely given this name because it melts in your mouth. At first, fondant was only used to make candies, but in the 20th century, fondant started to be put on wedding cakes as icing, probably because of the falling cost of white sugar.
Okay, everyone, let's talk about some fondant. Fondant was invented in the 16th century and gets its name from the French word fondre, which means to melt.
Yeah, very good. Fondre is the French word to melt, and I was amazed to learn that fondant has been around, 500 years? The 16th century, that's the 1500s. So those French were way ahead of the baking game. And yes, fondre gives us a little bit of a clue about what fondant is and how it's made, because this French word, fondre, means melt. Now, when we think of melt, we think of lots of things you might do with cooking, right?
Yeah.
You melt things all the time.
But usually when I think of the word melt, I think of ice turning into water. Yeah, if an ice cube turns into water, it's melting. That ice cube is melting. But more generally, if you apply heat, let's say, to something that is solid, and then it turns into a liquid, that thing is melting. For example, it's so hot that my ice cream melted before I had a chance to eat it. Yes, the sun was hot. It shone on the ice cream, and the ice cream, I should say, began to melt.
All right, so you might melt the fondant to kind of make it, to bake it on the cake, but here's another reason they might have used this word. It was likely given this name because it melts in your mouth, just like an ice cube would. We also use this term, melt in your mouth, to talk about things made with butter or fat or something like that. Wagyu beef, sometimes people say, is so tender that you put it in your mouth. You don't have to chew it up with your teeth. It becomes soft just by the heat of your mouth. It melts in your mouth. It's that delicious. All right, so find out a little bit about this history. It seems that fondant started in a different kind of way than as a decoration for cakes. It says at first, fondant was only used to make candy. So it was sweet, but it was used in smaller sizes to make candies at first.
There you go.
Okay.
That's at first. This is how fondant was used. But get this, in the 20th century, fondant started to be put on wedding cakes as icing, probably because of the falling cost of white sugar. People could now make more fondant more cheaply, and fondant started to be used as icing.
Okay, so you could use your fondant to make lots of candies, or you could put a lot of it on a cake, but of course that would cost more money. So this is a good guess as to why fondant became more popular, because sugar became cheaper. But it is kind of a guess. We don't have this written down as a fact, which is why we use this adverb probably. We often say probably when we're not quite sure, but this is what we think will happen, like when we're making a pretty good guess. So probably basically means most likely. There is a chance that this is wrong. There is a chance that this won't happen or something like that. But, you know, if you're going to bet money, this is the one to bet on. This is the one that will probably or most likely occur or happen. For example, we probably can't go to your birthday party this weekend. Yeah, my aunt's getting married and she's having a wedding. It's the same day, so maybe she'll fight with her husband and they'll break up, but probably not. So, yeah.
You know, I'm not too worried.
I'm
It's
sorry.
actually not my birthday this weekend.
Okay.
That was a person in an example sentence. It has nothing to do with me.
And nothing to do with your terrible cake.
Don't bring that up again, Mike.
Sorry.
It's traumatizing.
Okay, break
All right,
time,
folks,
break time.
it's break time. We'll come back and talk some more about fondant after this.
Probably.
我们刚刚学到翻糖的英文是 fondant， 那在法文里面它其实是念作 fondant， 这个字就是源于法文字 fondre， 它是意思是 melt， 也就是使什么融化的语义。好，那会取这个名字可能是因为翻糖它会在嘴里面融化。那我们来看单字 melt， 这个动词就表示融化，像冰淇淋的融化，或者是物体遇到火啊，遇到高温的融化，你都可以用这个字来表达。那么课文提到说，翻糖是在16世纪发明的，起初呢，它是用来制作糖果。那在20世纪的时候，翻糖开始被用在结婚蛋糕上面来当做糖霜，这可能是因为白糖价格下降的关系。好，那这边就用到一个单字叫做 probably， 它是副词，就是指或许、可能。介绍课文中。
Fondant, the icing on the cake. The ways that fondant is prepared and used have changed over time. In the early days, small cakes were dipped directly into warm liquid fondant. Modern fondant is made differently. Warm fondant is first cooled, rolled out into a sheet, and then applied to cakes. Since fondant is as popular as ever, it's now used on cakes for all occasions.
Fondant? More like fondant. Anyways, all jokes aside, we have some more on fondant for you guys right now. The ways that fondant is prepared and used have changed over time.
Oh yeah, well we learned that it started off being used just to make candies, and then it became a decoration for cake. So that was part of the change, but also how it was made has changed as well. How it was made in the early days is different from now. It says in the early days, small cakes were dipped directly into warm liquid fondant. So imagine it's like at the dessert buffet and you have that bowl of warm chocolate.
Yep.
And you take your strawberry or whatever and you dip it into the chocolate. So it's kind of, you know, covered with chocolate. They used to do that with the fondant. That makes sense. It's easy.
It sounds good to me. Anyways, let's go ahead and talk about this verb dip. Mike has been talking about what dipping is all about. When you dip something, okay, you put that thing in liquid briefly, okay? You don't submerge it entirely. You put something into a liquid, let's say, and then you pull it out. Like with French fries, you don't throw your French fries into a bowl full of ketchup. You take your French fry and you gently dip it into the ketchup, and then you eat it and you're happy. Yes, the word dip is a verb, and we have an example sentence for you guys right now. For example, she dipped her toes into the cold water and decided it was a bad idea to go swimming.
Yeah, there you go. So, that's the way they used to use fondant in the old days. Modern fondant is made differently. Warm fondant is first cooled, rolled out into a sheet, and then applied to cakes. This is how they get that covering on the cake that looks so perfect. It's not actually poured on the cake. You don't dip the cake into a big bowl of fondant. They actually roll it out into sort of layers like wallpaper or something like that, and then stick it onto the cake. That's really, really interesting.
Now, before, we mentioned how fondant and icing was used on wedding cakes. Well, get this, since fondant is as popular as ever, it's now used on cakes for all occasions.
Not just
fondant isn't just for weddings anymore.
Sure, wedding cakes, birthday cakes, it doesn't matter. As long as you have some kind of special occasion, you'll find a cake, and that cake will probably have fondant. What is an occasion? Basically, it's kind of an event. It's something that people will go to, will attend, will schedule, will plan, will organize. We often talk about occasions as being these sort of life events, like a birthday party, a wedding party, something like that. People might dress up in special clothes, eat special food, go to a special place, buy gifts and things like that. That's generally what we mean when we mean occasion. But usually there's a word in front of that that gives us a clue. This is a business occasion. This is a happy occasion or a fun occasion, a relaxed occasion, kind of giving you an idea of what to expect, what to wear. For example, Peter dressed up in a suit because it was a special occasion.
Wear special clothes
there you
on
go.
A special occasion.
Yeah.
All right, folks, with that, today's lesson is in the books. Don't go away, though. We'll be back next time with more.
It's going to be an occasion.
I can't wait.
我们刚刚读到翻糖一开始是用来制作糖果，那后来呢被放在结婚蛋糕上面当做糖霜使用。好，那随着时间过去，翻糖的准备和使用方式已经有改变咯。课文提到说，在早期啊，人们会把小蛋糕直接浸在温热的液体翻糖里面，就好像是你把水果浸泡在巧克力喷泉里面。好，那到了现代，人们是先把这个温热的翻糖把它冷却，然后擀成一片一片的，之后才把它铺在蛋糕上。由于翻糖一直都很受欢迎，现在呢，它不只是出现在结婚蛋糕上，所有的场合的蛋糕上也都会看到翻糖。那我们最后来看两个单字 ，dip 这个动词表示沾或是浸，像我们就是要把薯条拿去沾番茄酱的时候，那个沾的动作就是用 dip 表达。Jeff 老在解释单字时用到 submerge 这个字 ，submerge 它表示淹没、沉入水中，或者使什么没入水中。好，下一个单字 occasion 它是指重大活动或是指场合、时机。好，那么以上是这些讲解，同学别走开，马上回来哦。大家好，我是 Hanny， 欢迎收看我们的文法单元。今天要介绍的文法重点有4个。第一个是 when it comes to 加上名词或动名词。第二个是 A 加上 be 动词 as 形容词 as be。第三个是 have 加过去分词，也就是现在完成式的用法。第四个是 because 和 because of 的用法。我们先来学 when it comes to 加上名词或动名词。When it comes to 表示谈到什么、提到什么、说到什么，那后面要记得接名词或动名词。这个句型可以用来带出跟主题相关的资讯，例如 When it comes to losing weight, a lot of people have a hard time sticking to their diet. 说到减重啊，很多人都难以坚持他们的节食计划。台湾真的有太多街头美食，要减肥超难的，咸酥鸡、卤味、蒸奶、葱油饼、地瓜球、车轮饼，讲一讲都饿了。好，接着我们来学句型 A 加上 be 动词 as 形容词 as be， 这表示 A 和 B 一样怎么样？那就是原级比较的句型。这其中的形容词我们是用原形来表达。来看2个例句。Mia is as tall as her sister. Mia 和她的姐姐一样高。Mental health is as important as physical health. 心理的健康跟生理的健康一样重要。接着我们来学 have 加过去分词，也就是现在完成式的用法。好，那它有3种用法哦。第一种呢是表达从过去到现在已经完成或是还没完成的动作，常常搭配的副词是 already, just, yet 等等。例如 Have you had lunch yet? 你吃午餐了吗？好，第二种是表达从过去到现在曾有的经验，那常常会搭配次数的副词，或是副词片语，或者是频率副词，像是 once 一次 ，twice 2次 ，ever never 等等的。例如 He has watched the movie many times. 那部电影他看过很多次了。唐伯虎点秋香的台词他整个倒背如流。小强你不能死啊！好，第3个用法是表达从过去开始一直持续到现在的动作或是状态，那常常搭配上 since 或是 for 一起使用。例如 She has worked for the company for 5 years. 她在那间公司做5年了。最后我们来学 because 和 because of 的用法。because 和 because of 都是用来表达因为，可是两者用法不同哦。because 是连接词，后面是接子句，像是 Jenny is studying because she has a test tomorrow. Jenny 正在念书，因为她明天有一个考试。那么 because of 是片语介系词，后面要接名词或动名词，像是 The outdoor concert was cancelled because of bad weather. 因为天候不佳，那场户外演唱会被取消了。以上是今天重点整理，我们下次见喽，拜拜。
表达喜悦的英文怎么说？
Hey Shane， 我有一个礼物要给你。
Oh my God! Wow! You really made my day. Thank you.
Isn't it cute?
What is it?
It's a bear with a heart.
Oh.
It's cute.
Oh yeah. Adorable. Thank you. You've really lifted my spirits today.
对啊，我们今天主题刚好是要说，如何表达你很开心、很喜悦。
Oh, okay. So 应该要开心一点，对不对？
Yeah.
Oh my God! Wow! An angel bear!
Shane, calm down.
Too much?
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
sorry.
Anyways， 我是 Holly。
我是 Shane.
那刚刚我们提到 make one's day, right?
对。
So make one's day 不是就是真的要做一天，不是要做，
不是真的 make
不是真的 make。
你不是 God.
对，你不是上帝，不能做出一天的。
But for example, somebody gives you something. You say, you really made my day.
有一些人做了让你很体贴的事情，或是很开心的事情，送东西给你，你说哦 ，you made my day。然后另外一个，你刚刚说 lift my spirit，
my spirits.
Spirits 就有点像灵魂啊，或者是。
可是为什么有 more than one？ 为什么是 spirits？ 可是我们这说 lift your spirits。
对，就是我们不太确定为什么要加 s。
我觉得 spirits 应该是只是精神的意思。
是精神，所以可能就是你身上有很多种不同的情绪，所以 spirits 就会。
Yeah， woohoo！ 对。
那还有哪一个方式？
我们还有一个比较 slang 的说法。
哦 ，OK， 比较俚语吗
I'm so stoked.
Stoked。 So stoked 是怎样？
Well, for example, he will be super stoked if he gets the promotion at work.
所以就是非常兴奋吗？很高兴。
对，非常 happy.
OK， 所以他就是有一点俚语，可能年轻人比较会讲 stoked， 对不对
Yeah. Oh, I'm so stoked. I'm so stoked you're here, Holly.
Oh, thank you. I'm not stoked.
Just an example, yeah. Should we do some live action?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do
do
that.
it.
I'm stoked.
I'm so stoked.
I'm so stoked.
Thanks for sharing your cake with me. That really made my day.
No problem. I knew you were down, so I wanted to do something to lift your spirits. If you want, I'll give you the recipe so you can make it yourself sometime.
Really? That'd be great. I'm so stoked right now.
Just be careful not to eat too much.
Number 1, to make one's day.
Number 2, to lift one's spirits.
Number 3, stoked.